How I'd make $10,000 a month trading if I had to start all over again, right? Because I know there's somebody watching this who does not have much money, who does not know much about trading, and that was in the exact same position I was. So this is exactly how I would do it if I had to start over again. And it's how I did do it when I was at that point in my life, right? So you're going to need three main things. You're going to need a good strategy, you're going to need a good mindset, and you're going to need a positive and a good community around you. So when I first started trading, I was working a job. I was working a 9 to 5. I was actually working at a restaurant. I was not making much money, right? But I was starting to understand how to create a good strategy. I had blown two accounts, so I said, okay, I'm going to focus purely on strategy. So I had a decent enough strategy. I had a good enough strategy. My mindset was starting to get better because I understood that losses were part of the game. And I also understood that in order to make money trading, you have to learn how to be a good loser, right? How to lose trades in a way that does not affect the rest of your account, right? So I took small losses and big wins. The third thing that helped me was I was actually in a paid Discord, right? I paid about $200 a month for this Discord, and this was actually a crypto trading Discord. So all they did was they sent breakdowns and they sent signals of exactly what crypto trades they're getting into. And what I did was I actually didn't take any of these signals, right? I didn't take any of these signals, but what I did do is I understood why they're taking these trades, right? I understood how these trades are making them money. I was able to see that people were actually making money doing this. So when it was time for me to trade, I had confidence because I said, okay, I just saw that guy make $5,000. I just saw that guy make $8,000. I just saw that guy turn $500 into $5,000, right? So I was able to look at this and say, okay, this is possible. I was also able to interact with people who had the same mission as me. I was able to say, okay, this person is where I'm at. Let's see if he can get some advice to me, right? Or somebody was a little bit ahead of me, they could give me that advice to get me from where I'm at currently to where they are, right? So it was just really helpful for me to be in a community, and it allowed me to build my own strategy because I was able to find a profitable strategy and then just take this and apply it to myself, right? So first off, let's do a little trade breakdown of a trade I took the other day, right? So this was just a trade that was the bounce of New York Open, right? So this is New York Open session right here. Price comes down, bounces off of New York Open. Then we have the two candle confirmation. Could have took the trade off of that second candle close right here. Could have wrote it up, right? And that's exactly what we did. So I actually called this trade out in the Discord. I said, let's see if we bounce off of this New York Open or if we come down and break through. So that was when we were right here. And then perfect bounce, right? So we had a perfect bounce. You can see this exact trade right here, right? That's just on a smaller time frame. That's why it looks a little different. This is the 5 minute time frame. I'm looking at the 15-minute time frame right here, right? So premium members got in that trade and they made a ton of money. So he made $8,500 or $8,400 just off of taking that trade. And the reason he was able to take that trade is because SPY is basically an index of the entire market. So looking at SPY, you're looking at a large collection of a bunch of stocks, right? So the way SPY moves is usually how most of the market moves. So he was able to say, okay, RP told us to take a trade based off this bounce, or told us that we're going to bounce right here, right? So he got in call options, meaning he expected the price to go up on a stock, and the price went up, right? Because he was able to say that, okay, the stock market's going to bounce and we're going to come up. So he saw that, took that trade, and he turned $2,150 into $10,500, right? And then so did my man James. My man James made a little under $1,000 right here just from following the game plan. He took SPY options because he was able to see that we were going to bounce right here because he saw my text and he understands my strategy, and we bounced and he made money. What are the actual steps required to make $10,000 a month trading? Well, the first thing is you need an account, right? So you need an account that has a significant amount of capital. So you can do this with two ways. You can either grow your own capital or you can get a funded account. So a funded account is where a company gives you a test, and if you pass this test, you're able to receive an account that has $50,000 or $100,000 or sometimes even $250,000 on it, right? And what you do with these funded accounts is you keep a percentage of the profits, right? So if I have a $100,000 account and I make $8,000, I'll keep probably around $7,000. And this is a really nice thing for beginners to do because if you don't have much capital, you can get access to more capital once you have a good strategy and once you have that good mindset. You can get access to that funded account and then you can start making money and then you can use that money to grow your account. So Pablo actually did just that, right? So he was in premium for 2 weeks and he already passed his funded account challenge. So now, as you can see right here, he has a $50,000 account to trade with, and That's his name. That's the CEO of the company that signed it. So it's certified, right? That's his actual account. So now he can trade and he can make money because he now has access to more capital because he has a good mindset, good strategy, and a great community, right? So I would be focusing so heavily on great strategy, great mindset, great community, because that's exactly what I did when I started, right? And once I was in that community, I was able to accelerate my trading so much because I saw that people were making money. I was able to talk to traders who were actually making money, right? I used to just go around and comment on the internet. Like I used to comment on YouTube videos like, yo, help me. I used to DM people and it was hard. But once I got in this community, I was able to actually talk to people who were making money trading. I was able to actually see what strategy they're using. And then I was able to take that information, apply it to myself, and start making money. And that's actually how I made my first nice trade was I took the strategy that we were talking about in the Discord. Discord was called like Wolf Group or something. I took the strategy, I changed it a little bit, and I made a trade on Litecoin. And that trade actually allowed me to leave my job and then trade the way I do now, which is with much more capital because I was able to have a good strategy, right? And it wasn't even a complicated strategy. And obviously, I've changed that strategy around a little bit now. But back in the day, once I understood this strategy and once I had a great community of people to talk to, once I had a great mindset, I was off to the races, right? Because a lot of you, right, you really want to learn this, but you don't really know where to start, right? You see a lot of the different information, you see a lot of different people telling you different things, right? So I want you to stick with one person or one group, one community, one strategy, and then learn how to build a strong mindset, right? Because building a strong mindset is so important. So important, and your mindset will be able to guide you through those tough times. And when you're in a good community, when you have a good strategy, it's pretty easy to have a good mindset just because you're surrounded by people who are already making money. So you're able to see, oh, that could be me if I do these certain steps, right? Let's look at some more. So, oh, and another premium member made $5,000 off of the game plan from the day before, right? And then we also give out trade alerts. So we tell you when we're entering trades. So Visme made, what was that, $1,700 off of one of our trade alerts, which is nice, right? Really nice. And these are my profits from that move. I like to see that a lot of my premium members, or one of my premium members, actually a few, but one of them specifically on this trade made more than I did for the day. He made $8,500. I just love to see that, right? So when we're looking at this chart, right, normally you will look at it and you will say, what's going on? But when you have a strategy, you're able to identify, okay, this is why it's going to sell here. We actually took puts right here. We took puts, and somebody turned $100 into $1,000, right? And we actually took puts here too, right? Because we have a strategy, we have a set of rules that allows us to make consistent money. So if I wanted to make $10,000 a month, to sum it up, I would create a great strategy. I would have a solid mindset. I would have a solid understanding of risk management. And I would also be in a great community because being in a great community will allow you to get the information much faster because there's people that have already done what you want to do, that are already where you want to be in terms of making money. So you're able to accelerate your journey. You're able to go through it much faster. Because if I wasn't in a community, it would have taken me so much longer. But since I was in a community, I was able to ask questions. I was able to interact with people who are already doing what I want to do, right? So that's how I'd make $10,000 a month. And I would also either grow my own capital, which you saw somebody did. Somebody turned $2,000 into $10,000, so $8,500, right? And then somebody else, the same guy, made $5,000 a few days earlier, and he started with like a $3,000 account, right? So he started with a $3,000 account. Now he has an $18,000 account. So you can grow your own capital, or you can get a funded account, and you can actually get a percentage of the profits of somebody else's, of another company's money, right? So those are the two ways to go about it in terms of accounts. But the steps I would take would be build a great strategy, have a great mindset, and be in a great community because that's what I did. And that's what made me my first amount of money that allows me to do what I do now, right? So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon.